What is up, guys? It's your boy here, and it is Monday, January 6th. And last night, the 2024 NFL regular season came to an end, and we are now in the postseason. It is really exciting. I'm certainly fucking excited, even though I'm gonna be fucking stressed out as shit. But it's whatever. So, we are going to be doing our official playoff bracket, and I already made my bracket, so it is just for you guys and shit. So I'm just gonna be explaining my picks and everything else. So let's get started. So we'll do the AFC first because it's obviously a superior conference because it has the best team in it, the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll stop dick riding. But yeah, wait, what the fuck is this video? Can I close that? All right. So let's do this first game. The Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills. So the Broncos dicked on us yesterday, but it was against our second and third stringers, so I don't really give a shit. But basically, this should be easy enough. I got the Buffalo Bills running them over. No one's really giving them a chance. In fact, let me see if I can get the fucking. Okay, I gotta stop cursing in this. But let me see if I can get the thing open. The ESPN, can't talk. ESPN odds got okay. So like, yeah, the Bills got a 68% chance to win, and they're the 9-point favorites. But I just got, even ignoring that, I got the Bills winning because if you look at the Broncos, like they're the seventh seed, they just barely made it into the playoffs. I'm not saying they're a bad team; they're definitely a good team. You know, it's not easy getting into the playoffs, and they haven't been to the playoffs since they had Peyton Manning. So good for them. It's a good season overall. Bo Nix is a good player, but you're the seventh seed and you're going up against a two seed in a very dominant Buffalo team, led by the possible MVP Josh Allen. So I'm gonna say that the Bills are gonna be easy favorite against the Denver Broncos. All right, next, Pittsburgh Steelers at Baltimore Ravens. I got the Ravens winning. Pretty self-explanatory. The Steelers, you know, they just had this history of like Mike Tomlin gets his fucking winning season and then they kind of just fuck up the end of the season, and that happened this season. They ended off their season with like what, a 4-game losing streak. They went from 10-3 to 10-7. They choked away their division lead, and now they're the sixth seed, and they will be playing up against Baltimore at Baltimore. And this is going to be honest. This could probably go both ways, but I don't really see it going both ways because it's a divisional rival. So, you know, you never know. Maybe fucking Mike Tomlin masterclass, you know, some black magic shit could happen, but I think Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are probably gonna win this game against the Steelers. So yeah, so far the upper seeds have been winning, but that's gonna change because I think the Los Angeles Chargers are going to go into Houston, and defeat the Texans. The Texans have kind of been collapsing in the end of the season, to be honest, and they lost Tank Dell, so that's gonna be really bad. And CJ Stroud's a great quarterback, but you know that sophomore slump has been showing a lot. So I'm going to say that there is going to be an upset, and that the Chargers are going to defeat the Texans in Houston. So yeah, that's your wild card round sorted out for the AFC. Now let's go to the NFC. All right, number 7 Green Bay Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles. So this could really go both ways because I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to play this Saturday, and if he is, then they're probably going to win. If he isn't, then I genuinely don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to say that the Eagles might win because I don't know. I mean, it depends on whether or not is Jalen. Let me just take a look. Is Jalen Hurts going to be playing on Saturday? Because okay, maybe I lied about my predictions. I'm not as confident in them. Okay, so the Eagles are the favorites, but it's all right. So Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love are both questionable. So Jalen Hurts, he's on concussion protocol, and he has until like what, Saturday? This Saturday, I think it's the 6th, right? I don't know, but like we don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to play or not. So actually, I think that's Sunday, right? Because 6 plus 7 makes it. Yeah, so we got till Sunday. I'm gonna say Jalen Hurts. Let's say he plays. He's gonna win. They're gonna win. They got just use Saquon, bro. That's really all I can say. Just fucking use Saquon. Even if you don't have Jalen Hurts, use Saquon. Use AJ Smith. Use I'm sorry, AJ Brown. Use Devontae Smith. Just use them, and you'll probably win against the Packers. It's at home too. It's at Philadelphia. Come on. So yeah, I'm gonna say the Eagles win that game. All right. Commanders versus Buccaneers. The Washington Commanders are a good team. Let me just open up their schedule. They did beat the Eagles, like barely, but Did they beat the Buccaneers? I think they did, right? Yeah, they did by 17 points. Fuck me. But that was a different time. The Buccaneers were kind of struggling in earlier on the season, but they've become quite a scary team as of late. And the Commanders as well, they're good, but I wouldn't say they're that good. It's definitely been a good season for them. They would have, I think they would be in the seventh seed if Green Bay didn't choke against the Bears. So I'm gonna say fuck it. I'm gonna say that the Buccaneers actually do wind up beating the Commanders. I love Jane Daniels. I have a lot of respect for Jane Daniels, but I think Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, they're probably gonna be the reason that the Buccaneers end up winning. So yeah, Buccaneers will beat the Commanders, and then the Minnesota Vikings at the Rams. Yeah, I'm just gonna say Rams win this. This is probably like the upset, like my first like major upset, because the Vikings are they're 14-3 as a 5 seed, and I think the Rams are what 11-6, and like what the worst division in the NFL this season. But like the Vikings shat the bed last night. They really did. They got dicked on by Detroit 31-9, even though Detroit's defense is not as good as it used to be in the beginning of the season. So yeah, Sam Darnold's fucking seeing ghosts and shit, and I feel like I don't know if he can perform well in those really high pressure games. And the Rams, they started off slow, but they're a scary team. You got Matthew Stafford, you got Cooper Cup, you got Puka Nakua, and you got Sean McVay's defense. That is a scary team. The Rams already beat the Vikings earlier in the season. Mind you, there was a questionable not even questionable. The ref straight up missed a face mask call, and but still, I do think that the Vikings. I don't know if they're gonna be able to beat the Rams on the road, even though they are a good team. They had a good season. I just feel like they probably may not be able to get over the humps, and I think the Rams are gonna win that game at home. So yeah, that is my wild card prediction so far. And now let's get into the divisional playoffs. All right, Los Angeles Chargers, the Kansas City Chiefs. I did not want this to happen. I did not want to face off against an AFC West rival in the divisional round, but unfortunately, that's probably what's gonna happen. And in that case, Chiefs are the favorites. Nobody wants to play a team 3 times in a season. And if you look at our Chargers games this season, the first one started out really bad. We were down 10. We were down 10-0 in the first quarter, but defense stepped up, offense started to step up. We won 17-10. And if you look at that second game we had at Arrowhead, it started off good, and then we blew a lead in the third quarter, but we stepped it up in the fourth quarter and we won double doink, doink for the fucking division. We all remember that. And I still think, oh my god, I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it was just a notification. But yeah, I do think that the Chiefs are going to beat the Chargers yet again. It's going to be at home in Arrowhead. The Chiefs are going to be back from like 3 weeks of rest. We're going to be kicking ass and shit. And this is the playoffs. So Andy Reid, we're not going to hold back with some of the conservative plays. We're going to show that shit. So yeah, I think that, I don't want the fucking Chargers to, I don't want to go up against the Chargers, but I think that's what's going to happen. I would love if the Steelers upset the Ravens and then we got to play them instead. That would be a lot better. I definitely don't want to play the Broncos or the Chargers in the division. I would love to play the Steelers though. So yeah, we'll say Chiefs beat the Chargers, and this one's probably gonna be controversial, but I got the Ravens beating the Bills. Obviously, early in the season, the Ravens absolutely decimated the Bills, 35-10, and this Ravens team has just gotten better. But again, so has this Buffalo team, so that's gonna be a good game. Bills versus Ravens. It could easily go either way. These are like the 2 leading MVP frontrunners, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. But I think the Ravens' chemistry is a lot better. Lamar's kicking ass. You got Derrick Henry now. Zay Flowers might be out, but I don't think that's gonna be that bad. Because you still got a good enough receiving core, and you got Lamar Jackson with his legs, and you got a decent enough Ravens defense. I think that, and the Bills' defense are kind of so. I would say that the Ravens do beat the Bills yet again in the playoffs, not just like they did in the regular season. Now let's go to the divisional playoffs for the NFC. This is going to be exciting. Matthew Stafford versus Jared Goff again. This could go both ways, but I'm going to say that the Lions win. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, the Lions defense has been on IR, and like, you think that like with the injuries and shit that they would not play as well, but it looks like they're playing pretty fucking good. They have a lot of depth, and like some of these players are probably going to return too. You got to take that into account, especially because the divisional round's not for like another like what a week and a half. Like it's like next Sunday. So like I think and they got a good ass offense, a good ass quarterback, good ass wide receivers. I would not be surprised if they beat the Rams at home again, just like they did at the beginning of the season. I could see Matthew Stafford like doing that shit because the Rams are good. Could easily bow both ways, but I'm gonna say the Lions are the favorites. And Eagles will probably beat the Buccaneers. I mean, it's funny because like I think the last few times the Eagles and Bucks met, the Bucks actually beat them. You know, if you remember like that fucking wild card round last season, like what was the score, 32-9 when the Eagles finished their fucking late season collapse. But this is a different Eagles team, and I think that they're gonna win against the Buccaneers at home again. I mean, not again because that's happened a while, but I think they're gonna beat the Buccaneers. And then, yeah, they're a good team. Baker Mayfield, the Buccaneers are a good team, but I just think the Eagles are better. I really think getting Saquon helped them. Like, fucking Saquon, man, he's fucking crazy. Just give it to Saquon. That's all I can say. Just fucking run the ball with Saquon, and man, that's your formula to an Eagles win. And right now we're in the conference championships. The conference championship is the exact same as last season, except this time the Ravens will be traveling to Kansas City instead of the Chiefs traveling to Baltimore. And I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it. Chiefs win, and they will be the first team in the history of the NFL. So every time a team has tried to repeat, the farthest they've gotten is falling short in the conference championship round. And I think the Chiefs remain the first team to actually win the conference championship on a three-peat attempt and be the first team to actually go back to the Super Bowl while trying to three-peat. And it might be controversial. Like, it's funny. The Ravens season is going to end right where it began in Kansas City, in Arrowhead Stadium. And, like, you can say that, the reason why the Chiefs beat the Ravens in the opener was because the team chemistry wasn't there. Well, if you think about it, the Chiefs' team chemistry wasn't there either. You know, they lost Hollywood Brown in the preseason, and now Hollywood Brown is back. Xavier Worthy, he's stepping up, and Travis Kelce looks like he's getting back into like his normal self now, especially because Brown is back, so they're not double teaming Kelce as much. D Hop and Mahomes have good chemistry, and I feel like all that is certain. And Jalen Watson, I didn't even mention this earlier. Jalen Watson is coming back as cornerback, which is definitely going to help the secondary a lot. So you got McDuffie and Watson playing in the cornerback room. That's going to help the secondary. You got Chris Jones, great deal. I don't know how Chris Jones is doing right now. He didn't play against Steelers. I'm going to have to see if he comes back for divisional. I think he will, though. You got Chris Jones there, putting pressure on Lamar and shit. It's going to be good, and I do think that Chiefs are going to beat the Ravens at Arrowhead again and book a trip to Super Bowl 59. And now let's go to the NFC. This one's hard. This one's really hard, I'll admit. You got a great running back room. You got a great running back with Saquon. You got a good quarterback if Jalen Hurts returns by then. You got a good wide receiver room. You got a good defense. But the Lions have been a great team this season. Their defense, I'll stand corrected. I thought their defense was going to get fucked because, you know, everyone's getting injured, but it really looks like it hasn't been fucking with them. And if you're going to go into Detroit, it's like, with that Detroit crowd, I'm going to say fuck it. Lions will win. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that, but the Lions are going to beat the Eagles. It could go both ways. Like, it's going to be good, but I do think that the Lions are going to beat the Eagles. Like, if you look at some of the games that the Eagles have played in, like, they have been a little too close for comfort. They're a great team. They're 14-3, but I'm going to say it. Lions are going to beat the Eagles. And with that, you have 2 1 seeds returning for Super Bowl 59. Kansas City Chiefs at the Detroit Lions. Well, not actually at the Detroit Lions, but the Lions will be the home team. And this is probably good. I don't know how controversial this is going to be, but I know everyone's not going to be happy about this. I have the Kansas City Chiefs become the first team in the history of the NFL to win back-to-back-to-back Super Bowls. Become the first team to three-peat. And, like, I can go on and on explaining this shit. But, oh my God, you can stop doing that. Like, great defense. You got Patrick Mahomes. Like, you just have that X factor with the Chiefs. 18 postseason games. At least 19, because they're gonna do the divisional. So 19 postseason games, and like 15-3 record in them, and 3 of those losses, if you look at them, 2 of them were in the AFC Championship in overtime, and 1 of them was in a Super Bowl where the Mahomes didn't have an O-line. And like you have that X factor when it comes to them. And the Lions are a great. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions don't make it to the Super Bowl. Maybe I am overestimating their defense right now, but we'll see. But the Chiefs are the standard, and everything is going right for them right now. Like, they had so many injuries this season. Okay, we lost our RB1, Isaiah Pacheco, in like the second week of the season, and he didn't play for so long. We lost Rashee Rice in the 4th week of the season. We lost Hollywood Brown in the preseason. We've had all these injuries and shit, and yet we're somehow 15-2, 15-1 if you got starters playing, and like that's crazy. And now everything is coming back. Hollywood Brown is back. Isaiah Pacheco is back. Rashee Rice may not be there, but DeAndre Hopkins is playing very well. Travis Kelce is starting to come back into like his normal form again. He may not be getting touchdowns a lot, but he's definitely helping us progress the ball down the field. And Mahomes is looking like Mahomes again. Like, He hasn't thrown an interception since week what 9 or 10 when we faced the Bills. He hasn't thrown an interception since then. 15 touchdowns. I don't know the numbers. It was 15-2 at one point. It might be higher now. He hasn't thrown 2 interceptions since. He hasn't thrown a single interception since. Like, it's insane. And like, I'm excited. I'm really excited, and I do think that the Chiefs are gonna win the Super Bowl. Although it could go both ways, we don't know. But like, I think if the Lions do make it this far, I do think a problem with them is fucking Dan Campbell. Like, it's a Detroit way. I get that. Going for it on fourth down a lot. But like, if you look at the NFC Championship last year, there were 2 fourth downs that they did not convert in 49er territory, which would have given them 6 points, and they would have won the game. And like, that's a problem that Dan Campbell needs to address. Like, are we gonna go for the field goal, or are we gonna go for it? And that might cost him the Super Bowl. For all we know, it might even cost him something earlier in the division or NFC Championship. We don't know. But I got the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs repeating. Anything could happen. This could really go either way. It's the playoffs after all, but I have the Chiefs repeating. So yeah, that is my playoff prediction. I'm excited to see what happens this weekend, to see how much of my wildcard predictions are right. Some of these could be wrong. We don't know, but we will see. That's about all. Peace out. Yeah, to figure out how to start recording.